Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Game of Stars video. And this time I'm going to be talking about Streets of Rage 4 for a third time. And now I'm going to go over characters, and general characters I would like to see in the game. Returning characters, new characters, and stuff like that. As well as some of the game mechanics that I hope that they incorporate into this game because they would be fresh to Streets of Rage and they haven't really been done before or done much before. Firstly, for characters, I would like to see return. Obviously, we have Axel and Blaze. We know that they're returning characters to this game and this formula. I would also like to see Adam Hunter return, as well as Sammy Skate Hunter. Hopefully, I hope they just combine his names. Like, use Skate as his nickname and Sammy as his first name. Or Sammy is, well, I guess you say Sammy is a nickname because it could be short for Samuel, but whatever. Just call him Sammy Skate Hunter. Then Max Thunder should be returning as well. I would love to see him return. Dr. Zan, I would like to see as a returning character. I'm not really sure about Rue, or Victy as he was called in Japan, I believe. But I think he'd be interesting to throw in there somehow. Like, there's ways to make a storyline that get that character in there. As for new characters, as I mentioned before, Vanessa Lewis from Virtua Fighter, I would love to see her actually show up as a new character and have her working under Adam as one of his lieutenants, or since he's the chief of police for the city. I was gonna say the characters from Virtual Cop, like, I can't remember their names though. Like, at least one of them, like, it doesn't matter who, just one of them from Virtual Cop, like, is. I mean, obviously, Adam's the chief of police, so they would be working for him. So that's my whole reasoning behind that. Also, possibly Sarah or Jackie Bryant. Sarah, more or less, because Vanessa Lewis was actually her bodyguard at one point during the Virtua Fighter tournament. So it kind of makes sense to see her in there. To me, at least. And I mean, Jackie's her brother, and they kind of do a lot of stuff together. So, both of them in there, I'd have no issue with. And I like both those characters. Hopefully, like, boss characters could be possible playable characters, too. So, I would love to see Shiva be in there as a playable character. But characters to return, obviously, all of the mooks of the Streets of Rage series, from 1 through 3, all of them, and even some new ones that have abilities that aren't so common. Maybe like mid-boss tier characters that could be new mooks and stuff like that. I hate those damn kickboxers, but they're essential to they're essential to the game as far as I'm concerned. Like, I might hate them, I might not like them because of how cheap they are, but if they maintain their same abilities and, like, they're just as frustrated, it's not going to put me off the game too much. It's not like I don't know how to deal with them. I just don't like them. Because it's like more or less because they always find a way to sneak up on me. And I guess that's just my issue with them. I don't like them because they keep sneaking up on me and, like, bashing my character half to death before I can do anything. I would like to see Ash actually make a return from Bare Knuckle 3 and have him in Streets of Rage 4. Like, but have him be even more flamboyant and out there, but make him extremely strong. Like, not like he wasn't already, but like make him extremely strong to the point where it's almost ridiculous. I'd want him to be like what Abigail is to the Andors in not Streets of Rage, in Final Fight. Gosh. I'd like him to be like that, like where he has that much strength and he's like way more flamboyant, but he's also kind of psychotic. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, but for those in America, you never actually saw Ash. He was the gay dude that was in Streets of Rage 3 in Japan that they cut out of the American version. He was a mid boss. Like he appeared in a couple of different places in Streets of Rage 3. Obviously, Shiva again is Blake, as I said before, is the final boss. What is that? A Bay today, the wrestler that Max took out. I want to see him come back. Like, but he needs new moves. He needs definitely new moves, like a new grapple move where he can do like a pile driver on you or something like that. He needs some new moves. Like I want to see him some new moves, and even give him a partner, like a luchador partner. So like you have the big strong dude that's kind of slow, but then he'll be offset by the short quick dude that maybe can't take a punch as well. Like that would be a cool dynamic to throw in for him. Like, and I think that would be worth it. Trying to think of anything else. It's just like there's a lot of stuff that they can do, and I don't want to like sound like I'm imposing my will on the teams that are developing this game. Like, but there's so much potential behind it now, and I'm looking at all the stuff that they could do that I want to see. Now, something that would be really interesting would be if they threw in a Dural. I think it's Dural. Dural. It's Dural. So I'm going over the character's name in my head, trying to think of how to say it. A Dural character, like as like a robot that's based off of her that you can fight in the game. Like maybe several of them that are upgrades from the robots that were in Streets of Rage 2 and 3. Like show those models again first, like, but do start in a different order. Do the armless models that were in Streets of Rage 3 should be the ones that appear first, because those were just like normal mooks. And then you have the other ones that had like the morning stars on their arms. Those were boss characters. Like, so make the other ones mooks, bring those characters down to mid boss characters, and then put in like Dural robots as like the boss, like the ultimate top tier robots that they have, and those will be bosses. Also want to see the sisters come back. The sisters that fought like Blaze. I want to see them come back again as well. Because I like them. Like, I don't like fighting them all the time, but I like them as a concept. So, like, it was interesting that there was another group of characters that fought the same way Blaze does. Which, again, I'd also like them to show, like, have, like, little story dynamics for certain characters. Whatever character is there that you have, like, they'll have something to say, specific things to say to certain other characters, like certain bosses when they come across them. Obviously, I want to see that the game would have branching paths so that you could have different things happen depending on the path that you take, which isn't new to Streets of Rage. This is something that they were doing in Streets of Rage 3, even though they didn't do it very often. But I would like to see that happen. I'm trying to think of other characters, but I don't want to go too deep into it. If they could put Lao Chan in here as a boss character, like somebody that you fight. I think he's dead in Virtua Fighter though, so maybe like a character that's like him, like somebody who fought or studied under him as a boss character, or it could be him, but just like place it in the timeline of Virtua Fighter before he actually died. I think he is dead. I'm just trying to remember, because I'm pretty sure he died in Virtua Fighter. I don't know anymore. It's been so long since I've actually played any game in that series. I think the last one I actually played was 4, and I still have that one. But moving on, I would love to see a super meter mechanic. I want them to do. There's 2 ways that I want them to handle this, and I don't think they'll do both ways. I would like to see the special meter thing that popped up in Streets of Rage 3. I want to see that return, so that you can still do special moves without them draining you all the time. And also for a super meter that can be built up while you're playing. I would prefer it be built up while you're playing, so that way... Excuse me. Gosh, belching. I prefer it be built up while you're playing. Like, you can get... It builds up as you beat up on different mooks. or there can be certain items that you can pick up that will boost it, or maybe a combination of the two, like where you can pick up an item that'll just give you you instantly fill your super meter or whatever, which would be cool. Like, and then the super moves can be stuff that'll like just basically clear the whole screen. It doesn't necessarily have to kill all enemies, but it can be something that like takes out the enemies that are close to and just knocks everyone else down, because it's supposed to be like a shockwave effect. Like, the closer to the epicenter the enemies are, the more damage they do. The more damage they take. But with that, boss characters also have to have their own super moves. Yeah, that's going to have to happen. Which actually would be pretty cool. I'd also like to be able to have two characters grapple an enemy together and do tag team moves on them. That's something that was not in Streets of Rage at all, which I think would have been amazing if they would have put that in there. Like, you could, like, just like to say you could have like Axel and Blaze double grapple somebody, and he does a grand upper into him, and I don't know what that move is called, where she jumps over your head and smacks the shit out you with that energy on her hands. Like, but something like that where those things can be combined, like, just so that all the characters have like partner moves with each and every other character that's playable in the game. Like, it would just be interesting. So if Shiva is back in this game and you get a playable version of him, again, like him and Axel double grapple, grand upper, and Rhino crash together, knocking the hell out of somebody. But like, god damn, that would hurt. That would be so much pain. But still, like, you get you're getting the point of what I'm talking about. To me, that would be cool. I think I'd like that. Trying to think. I'd also want more character cameos. I want them to do character cameos, sort of like what Final Fight was doing, where they had Street Fighter characters in the background, especially after Final Fight 2. Like, that would be pretty cool just to do that. I think that way it also expands, again, the fact it makes it connect. It interconnects the universes of the games, which, again, the way I laid it out in the previous video, all of those could interconnect and there'd be no problem. There'd be no issue, because it's not a specified timeline anyway for some of that stuff. So it's not like they couldn't just work it in somehow. I'd like to see a whole boatload of different weapons that weren't in Streets of Rage before. And yes, every character should have a weapon that they are proficient with, especially that that they have a special proficiency with. Like, everybody can use every weapon, but there'll be that one weapon that the character can get that they can do some real damage with. And I want the weapons to have limited energy like they do in Streets of Rage 3. Just so that somebody doesn't try to like run a level with a pipe or something with Axel. Like, yeah, you get it for a little while, but you don't get to keep it permanently. No, we won't be doing that. I still would like it to be that way. But like, that way, you really do have to worry more about being skilled over just having a weapon that can kind of careen almost all the enemies all the time. I mean, you still have to be skilled with the weapon, because you have to be skilled enough to use it and not get hit. Like, but I think it would be better to have it so that it does disappear and it doesn't just sit around and linger in your hands for too long. Let them actually get broken. Thinking. Already talked about tag team moves. Talked about super moves. I don't know if you want to do super tag team moves. That might be something that'd be interesting, but I don't know if that would just be overkill. That might be overkill, at least for this first game coming back. A game after that, possibly. Like, but this one, I don't know. Maybe it might be a little bit too much from the onset. So I guess no super tag team moves. I mean, you already got tag team moves, and I'm not talking about just how, like, when I say tag team moves, I'm not just talking the style that they were. Well, not just talking about the style that I just basically talked about. Also the style that they have from Streets of Rage 1, where you could grab and throw your partner, and they'd have different team attacks that they could do from that like could take out crowds of people and have a lot of damage all at once. Both of those things should be in the games. Let's see. Trying to think of anything else. Anything else that'd be interesting. I would like if the character that's unnamed yet, or at least that I don't know her name yet. I would like to see a story for her getting to her rank in the Syndicate. If the gang is still called the Syndicate, I would like to see a story about her getting to the rank that she's at. The one where you have to play with her and actually kind of fight through the group to establish her as the character she is. That also brings a decent storyline about. Like, that is just something to be a nice dynamic to have. It doesn't have to be there, but it would be nice. And make her a playable character once you beat her or whatever. I definitely want Mania mode back in, like where everything's extremely hard. Yes, Mania mode needs to be back. No, none of that BS. Watering down the difficulty. No, like I want my Mania mode to be in the game. Like, you already have lower difficulties in the game for people who don't want to have the challenge, but you gotta put Mania mode in there. Like, especially for a person like me, I want that because it just makes it more fun for me. Like, it really truly makes it more fun for me. Crap, well, wasn't meaning to yawn. But that, oh gosh, okay. Talked about that. Talked about the characters. Talked about team up moves and super moves and bosses having super moves and stuff. Obviously, depending on the bosses, they'll have team up moves too. Thinking, and I'm having a hard time thinking. I had all of this stuff thought out too before I started this video, and now I can't think of it at all, and that's annoying me. Crap. What was I thinking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh, DLC. And this is, I know people gonna be like, why do you want DLC for this game? Why do you want DLCs, right? Because I want there to be opportunities for additional stories to be built up on this game's engine. Like, stuff that could tie into the main story, that can be separate plot points, and it can give you new levels and new bosses and enemies to face and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be tied right into the main story, but it doesn't have to be the main story, but it could be like something that takes place shortly thereafter, or something that happens before, like just anything like that. And it doesn't have to be like the same length as the full game. It could be like 5 or 6 levels. Ugh, crap, I'm yawning. 5 or 6 levels, and each of those levels has like maybe 5 or 6 areas apiece, which would be good. Like, I think that'd be a decent length. Like, if they were going to do that. Like, and if they need anyone to give them story ideas, you can go right over to the SLRR community forums. You'll find plenty of stuff and plenty of people who would be willing to pitch their ideas to you, and give you guys, give the development team some stuff to work with. Like, and honestly, the groups over there, the people that are over there, like Don Vecta, Natalie, CM Blast, a lot of them, they make some awesome freaking stories and mods. So for Streets of Rage remake, so definitely gotta check them out. Like, if there's anybody to go back to for stories, for downloadable content for this and stuff, like for unlocking characters and all that stuff, like that would be where I would head to get inspiration. But I don't know if there's really much more I can go with on this, because there's still a lot of information that we don't have. that would really help me make this better, but without that information, there's not much I can do. So thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until next time, please enjoy your games and drop your opinions and comments down in the comment section below. Peace out.